Hello and welcome to Colin Bradley Artcast. I'm Stephen Bradley.
And I'm Colin Bradley.
We're back and we have a good internet connection.
Absolutely, we're thoroughly enjoying it at the moment.
You've gone from sort of quite a slow connection to like almost double the speed of what we've got here. It's a fiber optic connection straight to the house, and I'm actually jealous that you have such a good speed because we're in the middle of nowhere. We're lucky that we get the speeds that we get, but yeah, you guys have got lightning fast internet. So hopefully, what this will mean as we experiment as the weeks go on is that we can actually live stream some of these podcasts to our YouTube and hopefully even Facebook as well. And you guys can actually listen live if you want to when we're recording. But obviously the recording will always be available after we've finished the podcast. But if you can tune in live or you want to tune in live, then we can let you know when we're going to be recording. And we shouldn't have any technical hitches now, fingers crossed. And we can actually stream some of these live and get some of your questions perhaps even live as they happen and really sort of fuel these podcasts with lots of great material. So we got there in the end. How have you been, Dad? You obviously had a great week now with super fast internet.
It's been fabulous. Lots of things have happened, and we now seem to have lost some of our nice weather we've had. We've had weather over the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks now, and we've had beautiful weather. Today, it seems to be turning a bit, but can't have it all. Yes, the internet, and generally speaking, everything's going very well. And
Good.
Pictures coming along. I managed to get a little bit more done, which we'll show you later on. And a new setup as well. I'm actually in my studio now, which is lovely.
That's right.
So
This
is where it all happens.
You could show us the things that you're using. You can show us colours and pencils. Go on, show us some stuff. What have you got on you?
And all the colour shapers, and it's all there. And the picture. So that's a quick glimpse of that, but you'll get a better view of that later on. So yes, it's lovely, and I'm very much at home here.
Good, excellent. We can see your prowling tiger picture in the background behind you.
That's right. Yes. It's I'm well. You're pleased with that because you actually own that now. I'm looking after it for you, Steve.
But, maybe I'll put it there. Maybe I'll put it there behind me. That's sort of a null and void space at the moment. We haven't really done very much to the house since we've moved in terms of putting things up, but perhaps I'll put that one behind me here. I don't know if I want it here. I might put it somewhere a bit more prominent, like in the hallway or in the living room somewhere, because that is that is my favourite picture you've done. I just think it's stunning. So I want to put that somewhere where
everybody's going to envy you when they see that. No, where do you get that from?
I know. It's very lucky.
And it was quite a quick picture too to do. It didn't take long, but it was a long while ago now. I'm just trying to think how long ago that was, Steve. Oh, got to be 20 odd years, more than that probably. It was one of the first ones.
It was before we've been running the business for 13 years online, and
got to be 20.
Well before that.
Yeah. So it was aged well.
It has. Anyway, let's discuss. You showed us a little glimpse of the picture there. You've scanned it for me or taken a picture of it for me, so we can actually show it on screen as well as you obviously being able to hold up the picture. I've just popped that on the screen now, so hopefully you can all see that. Can you see that, Dad, as well?
I can. Yes, I can. I'm looking at it now, and it's coming along really well. You remember last week we were talking about the background. I have nothing more to that. I was going to expand it, and I probably will. But it was enough information for me now to continue. And I hadn't done that ear. That ear on the right-hand side there is not...
That's not done?
No, but you can see how it's going to be done. You can see all the grey bits that you see are going to be very dark. And
it looks done.
And that's going to look really, really spectacular when it's finished. Oh, yes, that's a very good angle. You can see. Now you can almost see the strokes, particularly the strokes when I'm using, what pencil am I using? Oh, this one here, which is the Caran d'Ache pencil. Now that's the one that you can see, the pinky colour there. And that's very much in the animal. If you look up on the top of the head, you can see that colour again. But you've got ivory, and you've got 186 as well, and this colour. So there's a lot of blend. There's a lot of colours in here that I've combined together. One of the colours is 680. I just happen to have it here, handy on my work table here. This is 180. Now, this is a colour which I haven't used very much, and in my work. It's very much like 179, or a lighter version of 175, if you like. And that is being put on the snout. That snout that you see, if you go pull back there, Steve, and the top of the nose. Now it looks almost finished, but it isn't, nowhere near. However, what you can actually see, the darker areas you can see, it's a combination of the dark grey pastel matte paper and the 180, and of course a little bit of white as well, and ivory, and the 175. But that's going to be much more intense when I finish it, and that's very unusual. You see that area between the eyes particularly, look at that, what's going on there? That's how it is in the picture. Where's the picture? I've got a picture here as well, folks, it's to hand. There, well, that's the picture. That's the photographic reference, and you can see, if I bring that fairly close to the screen, I think you'll be able to see that. See there? On there?
Yeah.
Now, so that's going to look absolutely lovely when it's finished. And then I shall work throughout. The eye is virtually finished now. And so I probably won't be going back to them, except the surround. But I'm very pleased with it, and it's coming along exactly as I've expected it to. And when we carry on a little bit further, I've got the nose to do. One of the things that I think that people should pick up from these hints and tips that I give is that you don't rush a picture. You wait for the right time to do it. When's that, you say? No, well, that's how long's a bit of string. But it comes down to instinct. You know that ear, for instance, I said last week I hadn't done the ear and I hadn't started it. Well, now I've half done it, and then I've carried on. Now, the temptation would have been, and certainly if I was doing it from an instruction point of view, I would complete that ear, because people don't want to keep flying around. But the way I work now is that I'm waiting just for the right time so that I can finish the area of the background, not completely, but certainly enough so that I can then go back to that ear and I can put the further touches in it. And I've probably got another 2 sessions on that ear before I'm satisfied with it. So this is something that I'd love to impart that on people and realise that there's no hurry. When you're doing something like this, take your time, enjoy it. Now, it's okay to enjoy it if you know what you're doing. When you don't know what you're doing, it's not so enjoyable. But that comes with practice, and it comes with patience and experience.
No, it's looking stunning. Can you show us the size of the picture, the work that you're working on, so people get a reference of just how big it is?
If you get an idea from that, it's just slightly smaller than an A4, I would say, Steve. Slightly smaller than an A4. But it's a good size. It's a nice size. The lion cub, which I did last week, really demanded a bit more space, but you don't have to be very big. I mean, the eyes here are larger, obviously, than the lion cub, because you've got the whole body there, and you've got the background, which is a little bit more intense than this. So you've got to when you size this up, you've got to say, I've got to get the right size to get the right detail would be the word. detail. If you make it too small, you can't get the detail. And but most of my pictures, I do take that into account. The horse was one that we saw a couple of weeks ago, and that was the eye there was again not terribly large, but there wasn't a lot to it. When you've got some eyes, particularly cat's eyes, then you really do need to have a little bit more space to work with. So there's something. Sorry, go ahead.
What's the next section that you're going to do on this picture then, after this?
Well, the next section is to continue round the ear. I'll expand that slightly. And I'll
ear on the, as we're looking at it, the ear on this ear over here.
On the right hand, it's on the right hand side, the ear that lays in the body. And then at the same time, not at the same time, at the same session, I shall be working with the nose as well to come back into there. But before I finish the nose, top of the nose, I'm going to work round the nose. I shall put what colour is that? I can't remember what the colour is now. Oh, it's very much the same colour as the top of the head, but it's got a pink look. It's got a pinky look. So I've got to follow the reference picture anyway. So once that goes in, again, that won't be finished. That will be in there in the halfway stage, certainly. And then once that's done, I'll then carry on working around the nose. But when you see it next week, if I've gone this far next week, then you'll see that the nose will probably be in there, but may not be finished. Then you've got a mouth. Now, once that's done, there's not a lot left, because if you look at it, it's not. You can see the reference picture here. There's not a lot left of it. So once I get to there, I should be looking at doing the background. I'm working on that, and that's going to be fun.
Brilliant.
I'm quite looking forward to, in a way, but I'm also a little apprehensive because I've not done anything quite like that before. That's a newbie for me.
Wow, interesting, very interesting, very exciting. Though it's nice to see this stage, and it's really, with those eyes and the rest of it, it's really coming alive now. This picture, you can see that the animal's personality and everything, and I think when that background goes in as well, the setting and the mood that you'll be setting with that will be really interesting as well. So very exciting. Lovely stuff. Well, it's really good to get an update on this. I don't think we had any other questions or anything else to talk about. I was quite keen on getting more prompt with our podcasts because of the technical issues, we've been struggling a bit to get them out there, but we're recording this on the Friday, so we should be back to a bit more of a regular schedule now. There's no hiccups. So I'm conscious of getting this out and getting this uploaded for everyone. But we'll come back next week with some more to talk about, another update on this picture. The brown bear is almost finished, so that will be up, and then we can talk about that too. But in the meantime, if anyone has any questions or anything, we will maybe test going live at some point in the next week or two. So if you see any notifications saying that we're live, and you're able to join, tune in, and hear us talking about some stuff. But for now, we will leave it there for this week. So thank you everyone for watching and for listening. I'm Stephen Bradley.
And I'm Colin Bradley. Enjoy your week.